Hello fellow Exiles, AV here. I'm happy to showcase my Bloodsoaked banner champion in the Path of Exile 3.28 Mirage expansion. While Bloodsoaked banner has seen some niche popularity on Ninja, with around 250 players, I haven't seen much discussion on its endgame progression, largely due to its clunkiness and perceived lack of damage scaling. This build uses some interesting tech, none of which is new, but is combined in a way to make a fairly novel setup. Similar to other banner builds, you get around 300% movement speed, are ailment immune, and suppress capped with 65 attack and spell block. What separates this build is the endgame optimization, which pushes us to around 32 million DPS without Stormblast Mines, explosion scaling for clear, while also having 90 max all-res and immunity to mechanics such as crit, action speed reduction, and poison. This build excels at any mechanics that don't require us to move outside the banner radius. This includes Ultimatum and Expedition, which I originally designed the build around. Nevertheless, you get sufficient quality of life for mapping, scaling area of effect, and using our global physical damage scaling to get passable explosions. This video is meant as a showcase, not a guide, because some of the items require extensive crafting knowledge that may be hard to replicate by the average player. Despite this, I think some concepts discussed may be useful or translatable to a lower budget version. This character is based around banners, which are powerful stationary auras that require Valor, which is its own resource to be placed. Defiance banner gives movement speed and spell suppression, while Dread banner gives block chance and life on block. We generate necessary Valor with the Warcry banner mastery. Typically, once you place banners, you cannot generate additional Valor in its radius, which makes it impossible to chain banner effects. However, by combining the champion's worthy causes and inspirational nodes, as well as the Bannerman notable, allows us to seamlessly move and place banners as long as we have consumable Valor. Due to this patch, the Bloodsoaked banner support now gives banners an offensive component, applying corrupted blood to enemies within its radius, which deals physical damage over time. This makes Valor generation the main problem to solve. Both the defensive effects of banners and the physical damage over time scale with the amount of Valor consumed, meaning we need to generate large amounts of Valor in short periods of time to maintain full uptime. One common solution is to pair the Foulborn Ulnatol's Kiss, which gives massive amounts of Warcry cooldown recovery rate, with several automated Warcries using auto-exertion. This gives large quality of life, allowing for automated Valor generation while moving, and placing banners occasionally. However, there are several issues with this gear choice that limits endgame scaling potential. First, the axe itself doesn't give any offensive stats, essentially being a QOL stick rather than a stat stick. Second, the mana reservation of the auto-exerted Warcries, coupled with the now 20% reservation per Warcry, greatly limits other aura choices for offensive or defensive scaling. This also warps passive tree and gearing choices, as more emphasis needs to be put on reservation efficiency for these Warcries, which incurs some opportunity cost. Our solution to this problem sidesteps auto-exertion using the helmet Howlcrack. This helmet allows our Warcries to bypass their cooldowns completely, which means Warcry cooldown recovery rate is no longer necessary. However, it has the major downside of making our Warcries cost 15% of our life. We address this with the Warcry Mastery, which offsets Howlcrack's cost, but requires us to use the Warcry instead. This means we need large amounts of Warcry speed, which we get from the Warcry wheel for Admonisher, which is near mandatory for this build, due to the stacking damage buff per Warcry performed recently. We prioritize the stat wherever possible, ending with around a 0.35 second Warcry speed on Enduring Cry in endgame. This also requires us to reduce the mana cost of the Warcry from our rings, so we can sustain continuous casting with little to no mana regeneration. Going with Howlcrack frees up all our mana for offensive or defensive aura scaling. We're able to fit in Pride and Herald of Purity for offense, while also squeezing in Purity of Fire with Blood and Sand. As banners also count as auras, scaling aura effect is relatively efficient, and we end up with around 100% increased aura effect. Combined with enthalpic rings and max resistance mod on jewels, we're able to achieve 90% all max resistances with little further investment through melding of the flesh. One of the more interesting aspects of the build comes from the banner synergy with minions. As our banners also affect allies, this means our minions also get resistances, block, and most importantly, 10% of life regenerated per second from Inspirational. We combine this with the Fertile Will notable from the Feral Ascendancy for a total of 13.5% regeneration. This allows us to get our last offensive aura, Malevolence, through Guardian's Blessing, as Meat Shield gives our minions sufficient damage reduction to more than offset the loss from the blessing itself. Due to aura effect scaling, Malevolence grants a large amount of damage as well as quality of life, further extending banner duration, which is important for extended events such as Ultimatum. Partially due to our banners, our minions end up very durable, with our turtle surviving in almost all content we throw at it, ensuring aura uptime. Our Spectre of choice is the Perfect Guardian Turtle, which offers several benefits through the Determination aura it provides. First, this gives non-trivial armor scaling, granting us around 30,000 armor with flasks. Second, we can use the Watcher Eye mod for crit damage reduction, which we scale to 100%, the Armor Mastery, and 2 tattoos. The Animated Guardian is less important, but still offers quality of life. It has Garb of the Ephemeral for action speed immunity, which is nice for mapping, but crucial for Grueling Gauntlet Ultimatum, where effects like Quicksand can threaten your completion. We also have an Elder Helmet, with nearby enemies take increased damage, which could also be swapped for a Malediction Implicit Corruption or Leercast. It really isn't an ideal weapon slot, so we forego the typical Kingmaker to save currency since it doesn't really move the needle. Passive-wise, one key item of this build is the Elegant Hubris Timeless Jewel. It offers large amounts of generic damage scaling through Gemling training, which both increases banner damage and physical explosion damage, which we access through Awe and Terror. Most importantly, we can use the keystone, Supreme Ostentation, to ignore attribute requirements, which frees up suffix pressure on gear and opens up itemization choices. For example, Ray Spectre's intelligence requirement can be completely ignored, and we are free to pick any weapon of choice. We can also tattoo away all our strength nodes into physical damage, which provides further damage scaling. Let's now talk about defenses. First, due to freed suffix pressure from having capped resistances using the rallying icon notable, and having no stat requirements from Supreme Ostentation, we can cram in life regeneration rate onto both gloves and boot suffixes. Combined with banner life regeneration and Enduring Cry, we regenerate over 2300 life per second, which greatly helps against degens. Second, our choice of Enduring Cry having no cooldown recovery due to Howlcrack means we almost have full endurance charge uptime. This mitigates the Siphon Charge notable from Ultimatum, and gives us some sorely needed physical damage reduction, which we're lacking in. Due to our endurance charge uptime, we can almost always get maximum benefit from Immortal Call, which we have linked to automation. With duration scaling, the new cooldown recovery support, and Runegraph of the Warp, which is also beneficial for maintaining banner buffs from Bannerman, we are able to get up to 73% uptime. Having this additional physical damage reduction layer is highly beneficial for mods such as Blood Altar and Overwhelming Monsters. We also imbue Immortal Call to level 1 life tap, which helps offset its large mana cost, which interferes with our Warcry uptime. Third, we scale Aura Radius to maximize our banner range, which also increases the range of Blood and Sand for damage reduction in Ultimatum. Fourth, Little Suffix Pressure allows us to put the Poison Immunity Essence on boots, making bleeding the only ailment applicable on our character. Fifth, having built-in movement speed through banners means that buff expiry rate, less cooldown recovery, and lack of flask charge generation does not affect our character's ability to dodge monsters, which is important in Ultimatum with mechanics such as Vruun. Lastly, we're able to mitigate reduced recovery modifiers by anointing Vampirism on a cord belt. which provides enough sustain alongside life on block to get through combinations of modifiers such as Blood Alter and Reduced Recovery. We also have several offensive optimizations. First, being able to choose our weapon means we can go with a bow and quiver, which typically have restrictive dexterity requirements, but offer some of the highest gem level scaling possible. We get +5 to our level of Bloodsoaked Banner, which is a massive multiplier that's difficult to access in any other gear slot. We combine this with the Spinehail Quiver, which further opens up the Slumlord Notable on Elegant Hubris as an additional flexible option, as well as crafted damage prefixes on other gear slots. As we are block capped without any shield or additional equipment, this weapon choice doesn't penalize our defenses at all. Second, vulnerability is imbued with Cursed Ground for easier continuous curse application, and has higher quality of life due to skill effect duration scaling from Malevolence. Third, we imbue our banners with Life Tap. The Life Tap buff typically only lasts 10 to 12 seconds, even with duration scaling, while our banners themselves last upwards of 30 seconds. Normally this would mean only partial uptime on Life Tap's damage bonus, but our use of Life Tap with Immortal Call and Automation ensures full uptime for the support gem multiplier. We also scale banner duration to offset the less duration multiplier from Swift Affliction to ensure maximum comfort when doing longer encounters such as boss fights and ultimatum. Last but not least, we opt for an Awakened Chest Armor combining Elevated Crusader Explode with Redeemer Aura Effect. The generic Aura Effect helps boost our banners alongside offensive auras, while the 35% explode chance stacks with the explode from banners, making our explosion effect more consistent. For mapping, we further scale generic Area of Effect using Area of Effect medium clusters, ensuring even further banner range and larger explosion radius for maximum clear power. Combined, this toolkit gives comfortable levels of clear, while reaching near dot cap without Stormblast Mines, with over 1200% increased generic damage scaling for our explosions as well. Banners are also mechanically great for encounters like Ultimatum and boss arenas, as it instantly applies damage over time to anything in the radius, leaving us free to dodge enemy attacks. All in all, I hope you had something to take away from this video. There are further optimizations to be made, such as going Lucky Block with Voices and Forbidden Flesh and Flame, but that would blow the budget out of proportion and I didn't find it to be worth it. I had a blast putting together the character and playing the new and improved endgame in patch 3.28. I'll end the video with some extra footage of bosses and other encounters. Take care, Exiles.
For now, nothing is over remains. Thank you, Quick.
Alliance ends here, hatchling.
We will win this together.
Annihilation. Incineration. Improbable.
Until the others arrive to challenge me for this realm.
Exile, do something!
spirit is spent.